Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to everyone. So nice to see a lot of known faces and also someone unknown, but there is a very good number of faces that I can recognize. So hello, hello, really to everyone. Let's wait a few minutes to permit everyone to join us, and then let's start. Thank you also to the mentors that came here during this call. Thank you very much. Very, very, very important also to me having you and your ideas, your brainstorming, and your experience. People is continuing to arrive. And it's very cool that in this call in English, there is people, of course, from England, like Rowena, but also people from Netherlands, people from Germany, people I can see from also Poland. Marius, ciao, how are you? People from Brazil,
Oh,
Eleonor. Boa noite, no, bom dia. Bom dia. Again, Dorothea from Germany, of course. Suzanne, I don't know. Mirjana, I think she's from Serbia. So very, very multi language. I have to know and I have to study all your languages too to make conference, or I need a very good AI to translate. One of the two things. But very, very good because I tried one program a few days ago to translate live. I was speaking in Italian, translating in Spanish, so extremely easy actually because they're very similar um, languages. I had to say no, was not working so well. Absolutely not. So one more minute and we start because we have a lot of things to tell, to share, to discover, a lot of new things, new perspectives. So finally, well, we are here together. Finally, I have time to dedicate also to the to the Zooms. So well, I think we can start. Meanwhile, if someone is arriving, we will make join us. So thank you very much for being here tonight, 14th of January, just 14 days after, the change of our year. I am extremely happy to have all of you live, and I'm extremely happy also to speak with everyone is listening the recording of this call. This is the first call of a new cycle of calls that I will do in English, Italian, and Spanish. And these calls are, let's say, welcoming all of you to a new era of Reconnective Academy International, a new era of the concept that we always shared, and as always, expansion. This is one of the things that I always had to teach to the mentors, to the instructors, and also I had teach to the practitioners that were coming to our training programs. Expansion instead of limitation. And this is exactly what we are going to speak about tonight. For who doesn't know me, my name is Guglielmo Poli. I'm Italian, living in Switzerland. It's already 7 years that I'm living there. And I am the director of Reconnective Academy International. We organized and we run for 6 years all the training programs about reconnective healing and the reconnection all around the world. And it's a super pleasure to welcome all the new people that just for this call wanted to participate. So if you don't know me already, you have to know right now that you are here not to learn something new, but you are here to remember something very, very essential. Something important for your life, something important for your evolution, something important for yourself. To live another kind of life, more conscious, more clear, more profound, and maybe avoid a lot of mistakes and maybe to avoid a lot, let's say, of U-turns in your life that maybe you don't want to have. So before starting, I would like all of us, we are putting our attention. Of course, this is not a technique. This is not an exercise, is an act. Okay. I would like that you breathe without breathing. You breathe without doing the breath. Just let it happen. And while it happens, let's do to yourself a couple of direct questions. First question, right now, what am I chasing? Second one, what am I avoiding? Now we are ready to speak seriously about what we have to speak about. So, um, let's go immediately to the point. Techniques, dogmas, gurus. In the holistic world is full of these three things. Let's go and let's analyze one by one these topics and let's observe how these three categories are expanding or are limiting our interaction and our return to ourselves. These calls that I prepared for all of you are one part of the project that is called Ad Unum Experience. Ad Unum means in Latin the return to the one. Okay, it's to the one. Experience because everything we can experience, everything we can do to return to the one is something that has the value to be done. So the idea is not, of course, a technique, is not a term, is not a modality. It's an idea. It's a center. Ad unum. Let's return to the one. This is why I had written this group of initial four calls to start to share some of this philosophy that was inside me and I needed to share with someone because the need to share is starting from the necessity to have mirrors for the experiences that you are doing in this moment. The mirror, the perfect mirror, who is the perfect mirror? It's you. You that you are me. We will speak a lot about it during our calls because the idea is that all of us, we are one. So, in the first moment in which we start and we approach, and of course, every one of us had learned in his life at least one technique, one modality, etc. The brain is start to check. It starts checking if you are doing right or if you are doing wrong. This is the first thing that is doing a technique. I remember when I had to learn to go to the mountains with my father and start to ski. No, I started slowly, slowly. I started at the camp of the babies. Then I was able to slow down. No, then I started to be much more, let's say, expert of it. I started to do the red path, the black path, the most difficult. No, and my technique was going faster and faster to be learned by me. I at a certain point was part of the Italian selection of the kids of 14 years. Okay, so I was skiing very well, but at a certain point I wanted to do something different. So I wanted to get out from the regular path and I wanted to do, listen very well, the freestyle. Freestyle. What does it mean? It means that you are skiing out of the regular path, that you are going when the snow, sometime where the snow normally it's arriving even to your belt, where you don't know if there is a rock, maybe a tree, okay, under yourself. And if you are using the technique that you already know, and maybe the technique that helped you to also win some medals, okay, with the Italian team, you are falling down and you are risking a lot because there the rules of the technique are not working anymore. It's something totally different. The same thing is happening when we are passing from uh, the physics of Newton to the quantum physics. It's happening exactly the same. The rules that you know till that moment, unfortunately or fortunately, if you can understand them, okay, are changing. So it's not working anymore everything you known before. This is in micro. Let's observe in big. Okay. So I want to clarify something. Technique will be never, and it is not an enemy. Technique is useful. You can imagine it like a bridge, mm? And it's a temporary crutch. The problem begins when a technique is becoming, meanwhile, it's arriving a new person. Okay, it's becoming identity. When you are identifying yourself with a technique, I am a practitioner of. I am a instructor of. I am a XYZ of. Okay. It's not anymore a tool, it's a belonging. So you are transforming yourself in a tool of the technique. When it's no longer expansion, it's becoming a cage. And I want to tell you just one metaphor that I invented during a couple of driving lessons that I am giving to my girlfriend. Okay. Let's pretend that you have a GPS in your car, no? And the GPS is the technique. If you look 100% of the time at the GPS and you don't look the reality, you don't look at the street, maybe if you're lucky in 5 minutes, if you're unlucky in a few seconds, you're crashing your car. If you are too much into the rules, if you are too much into um, trying to find the right word for the right meaning for the right things, and you are not speaking anymore with your heart and you're speaking anymore with your soul, it's like you are just observing your GPS. You are excellent in understanding that you are the arrow of the GPS, that the blue line is the street of the GPS, that maybe 120 kilometers per hour it's the limit that you don't have, okay, to exceed. And maybe you are excellent in understanding where is, I don't know, the gas station in 2 kilometers. Fantastic. But if you're not observing the reality, if you're not doing the experience, if you're not able to experiment something different, you will crash. The car needs your consciousness, needs your attention, needs also sometimes, if there is a danger into the street, that you break the rules, that you accelerate instead of brake, if there is a danger, for example. And the other metaphor that I have, I invented observing my grandmother, that during the Christmas time was with us because she injured one knee. So he was with a crutch, okay, etc. And then we passed to do physiotherapy all the Christmas holidays, etc. No? And I seen something. Let's pretend that the crutch is the technique. The crutch is useful. It's helping you to walk when you have pain, when you have a problem. But what is happening if you are not letting go the crutch when you are healing? If you continue to use it, then you start limping. You start limping with the crutch. And it's not guilty the crutch. It's you that you don't have anymore the courage to walk by yourself. So the main idea here is a technique serves you until it serves to you. No more. Then it has to let go. Hmm? If not, it's turning to a flag, a tag, a QR code. No? And when the ego is hijacking you, because you are the one with the certificate, you are the one now with a lot of experience, you are the person that knows perfectly the technique, and you don't want to change it for anything in your life. It's creating a tribe, and when a tribe is born, the exclusion is born. Think about the religions. We know perfectly how to pray God. We Catholics pray God like no one else. You Protestant or Martinist, or you don't understand anything. And even if you have the same model of love, that is Jesus Christ in this moment, you are creating tribes. And the Orthodox, he is 100% confident that he has the real way to pray God. Techniques of praying God. You can imagine it? What a silly, what a silly idea. And I love religions, and I studied all of the religions of the world. And all the religions of the world are bringing you to give a technique how to love God. Is not crazy. To me, it's absolutely crazy. For someone else, maybe makes sense. And I respect 100% this sense because it's part of the consciousness to reach the level that is not better or lower than other levels, to understand that God is you, is inside you. You are the universe and we are one. Hmm? Very, very, very important. And the topic about the religions brought to me to another topic of this call, the dogmas. No, dogmas are not just religious. Dogmas are political. There are impersonal growth in spiritualities, in some community, in schools, in mathematics. There are some dogmas that you cannot change. And when someone will discover more, you must change it because he's making proof that there is something wrong. No? And you can understand that a dogma is not something that is created because someone is evil or because there is anything bad in it. A dogma, why is created? Is created because there is a fear that something that is good is getting lost. A dogma is something to protect the idea, to protect a nice way to do something, a good thought, maybe a community. Okay, it's a protection. But we know that if you are trying to protect yourself by something, you are creating this thing that you are protecting by. So you are creating the opposite. At the beginning, it's possible that the dogma is the real experience that you are doing, that you are having, because you need it. Then are starting to come to you some questions. You see that the things are not working always in the way in which the dogma is telling to you. At a certain point, it's not anymore congruent with you. And there are some red flags. When a dogma is not permitting anymore to ask yourself questions, mm, red alarm. If you don't do this, you will be less. How many times I had to hear, no? If you don't do this way, you are out, or you are less, or you are doing something wrong. The point here, it's very philosophical. But as I said to the German community last Sunday, and thank you again for inviting me because it was to me a very excellent, excellent day in general because the love that I received was extreme, and I also did a very good presentation because I was extremely inspired by you. So this was fantastic. So I was telling, when you cannot anymore do the experience, even to fail, even to lose, even to get out of the rules, you are not anymore evolving. The mistake is not existing. There is nothing wrong into the universe. And as I explained, the entropy, the concept of the entropy, was always explained in a way that was upside down. Why it was explained in a way that was upside down? Because when it was discovered, the scientists discovered that the chaos, the disorder, is always not increasing, is always decreasing in our universe. But what does it mean that the universe is losing chaos and disorder? Imagine the Big Bang. A lot of disorder at the beginning is an explosion. Then the universe, it's expanding, is getting colder, it's losing energy, and one day this energy will finish and the universe will be totally frozen and blocked. When the scientists discovered it at the beginning of the 19th century, the church, the Christian church, was still politically very important. And they said, no, you cannot tell that the creation of God is going to die. You cannot. So the scientists were in problems because they discovered something, they had proven it mathematically, but they cannot share it. So what they did, intelligent people, oh, in front of the formula of the entropy, they put the minus. In this way, all the formula was still the same, but upside down. Why we have to be happy that the entropy actually it's observed in a way upside down? Because it's really resolving a lot of doubts. It's really resolving a lot of problems also philosophically. And it's perfectly connecting to another important theory done from one Italian team, that is the theory of the big bounce. I spoken about the Big Bang, that is the scientific theory that, let's say, it's more accredited to be a real a reality by the science. Okay. At the opposite, actually, is not so true that is the right way to interpret it. The Big Bounce, it's a theory in which a team of astrophysics is telling that from the nucleus, the one, everything is an expansion, the universe is expanding, you with your experience, you are bringing, okay, your knowledge to the one. At a certain point the universe is blocking, is freezing, and it's returning to the perfect order. And what is happening? It's returning everything to the one. And this is happening several times. It's like a heart that it's beating into your chest. The universe, it's an alive animal. It's an alive being, and you are part of it. Why I'm continuing to tell that you are part of it? Because if you really understand how is working the evolution is working simply doing the experience with this part of the universe that it's you, and then bring back this experience to the one. And the movement is the same of the universe: expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction, where you find space for a technique in it, where you find space for a name for it. Anthony, no name. Resolved. Funny, I'm joking with her. She's one of the Reconnective Academy instructors, and we were discussing philosophically. For her, yesterday night, she sent me a vocal message, and this morning, first thing that I did, I answered her philosophical ideas. So a brainstorm with a night in the middle was very funny. And the real key for it is understanding that if it's true that the universe is a hologram and you are part of this hologram, you are containing all the informations of the universe. Why? Because a hologram, when you start to cut it, you're not cutting it and creating some, let's say, parts or fractions of the universe. When you are cutting the universe, you are creating a lot of mini universe. This is what is happening to a hologram. When a hologram is cutted, you are creating two holograms or four holograms or infinite holograms. And every hologram has inside the full information about of the whole. That is you. This is what is happening when we return back to our reality. This is happening what is when you are leaving dogmas, when you are leaving techniques, and just you experience what you are doing. You can evolve playing football, you can evolve eating McDonald's, you can evolve watching a movie, you can evolve praying, you can evolve having just a walk, or arguing with someone, or the evolution, it's in every single actions that you are doing in this life. In this life, you are under the rules of the time, of the space, of the physical body that you wanted to embody. Sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not working, sometimes you are creating for yourself the experience of the weakness. So you have to ask to yourself why you are creating for yourself the experience of the weakness. And when you know why, you are coming back to the one, and you did the evolution, and the weakness probably disappear. This all about evolution and consciousness. It will be funny because in one of these calls, I will take the formulas of the quantum physics, formulas that I can't even read correctly, okay, because they are extremely complicated. But I will show you the complexity of the evolution with all the papers, the real scientific papers, not the paper of the crazy one or the strange man, scientific approved papers. And you have to know that we know already everything. What is missing is connecting the dots. Is connecting dots. Hi, Suzanne. Yes, 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 of course. There are dogma in science, and at least till 2020, if a dogma of the science was was found wrong, also, let's say this dogma were cancelled. Since 2020 to the future, I don't know. Maybe in something it is not creating so many problems to the majors, no, of the science. Let's tell it in this way, in a very politically correct way. So, till now, some of you has any question or also would like to brainstorm with me about techniques and dogmas, because it's coming something more. It's coming about gurus. I remember when I went 5 times to teach in India. And when I was going to India, I have my friends that are not in the spiritual research, they are not, okay, that were telling me, but why are you are going to India to teach energy healing? Because they know perfectly, they know much more than you. And I say, yes. So really, I don't know how I can find people there to come to the training programs. But it was extremely surprising when I did my first program in Mumbai, because the reality, the expected reality was very, very different than the idea that we have about this place. Because yes, it's true, a lot of spirituality, but also a lot of chaos, absolutely a lot of chaos, and also a system that it's really blocking the people there. When you born in a caste that is a lower caste, okay, you cannot change it for any reason. So you are obligated to live a life extremely unpleasant. Even if you are the best person of the world, the more kind, the more gentle, the more spiritual, the more intelligent, the more talented, you will be not considered because you are an untouchable. And it's true. No one will touch you. It's, the name is reflecting really the fact. So they come at the training program, and at the end, they were extremely surprised about the freedom that I was teaching to them. So the freedom of not having so many gods, not having so many rules, not having so many divisions, social divisions inside, okay, the community. And I did another thing that will cost me at least 3 centuries in the inferno. When I was teaching in Japan, there was a Buddhist monk in the class, and again, I just explained that instead of observing the things like positive or negative, and this knowledge was transferred to me by Dr. Adolfo Pamphili, that is an extremely famous surgeon, and also he's philosopher, he's a writer, he's a lot of things. During my presentation in Milan, and he said always to me, never, never judge something in your life, a person, an event, a job, like positive or negative. At the opposite, observe if this thing is expanding you or is limiting you. Now, nothing can block you. Nothing can block you. This is the second law of the thermodynamic. So you can't be blocked. But the expansion or slowing your expansion, it can be done. And I was sharing this information, and I was observing this man. He was not looking like, again, a Buddhist monk, like you can imagine, baldy with a orange dress, etc., etc. No, 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 no. He was normal person, but he was a Buddhist monk. The day after the end of the training program, uh, he wrote me a long email that I am really taking care of to don't lose it, and with philosophical ideas that actually I remained very surprised that from my words were so ex- expanded this man by these few words that he said, I am doing a step back or a step forward, he wrote. I'm not anymore a Buddhist monk because now this thing is limiting me because I have still rules in it. I have still dogmas in it. I have still someone in a hierarchy upper me. So, because of the words that I shared, we have a Buddhist monk less into the world. For this reason, I will pass few years in the inferno, and I deserve it. When you cannot contradict the teacher, is not anymore the teacher, it's a boss. If something is requiring secrecy, superiority, it is a status system. Hmm? It's not anymore something that is expanding you. A true teacher gives you back your discernment. It's giving you the power and is giving you the input to think with your mind. This is why what I am creating, it's a center, a philosophical center. There is a center of something, a center that all of us we want to walk through, returning back to the one, returning back to ourselves. These are the steps that we are doing. This is what we are creating, a community of people very creative that they know because of their experience to how come back to the one and they're sharing each other. This is what we are doing. Any questions so far or any idea? I would like to read into the chat some of your insights because it's very true that when we are, for example, facilitating no a kind of energy healing, we are working with our consciousness and we are doing it as good as our awareness is good. Um, as you are closer to the truth, also philosophically, also, let's say, with all your left brain, when you know more about what you are doing, more you are sharing. So let's tell it in this way. Into the three-dimensional world, all of us is bringing a piece of the truth that you are, a piece of the truth, because it's not easy and is not probably also possible for ourselves knowing the whole, experience the whole. Okay, is not possible. Why is not possible? Because we created this universe in the illusion of the duality. When we have the illusion of the duality, uh, it's easier for us making experiences and creating for ourselves experiences out of us that actually it's exactly what we need in that moment. Let's observe the word. It is a nice word. Mm, not the best. There are a lot of incongruences, wars, problems, but it's what we are creating. Why we are creating this? Because it's the part of ourself that we don't understand. It's the part that the consciousness still can't digest about itself. It's the mirror that we don't want to see. In the duality, we always, and in the techniques and in the dogmas, we always divide, the blackboard, good people, bad people. Of course, you are always in the good people. Don't worry, you are always in the good people. You put always yourself in the good people because you are, but you are also the bad people for someone else, maybe. Okay. In the duality, you put always right and wrong, black and white. Hmm? Why there is this need into the universe? Why we are clustering ourselves in so many different, again, clusters of people? Because at a certain point we cannot live and understand that all the streets are going to the same center. The ancient Romans were saying, all the streets are going to Rome. And it was true because they built them all around Europe. But it was always, a state of mind. It was telling, if you're doing something in one way or in another way, if you are expanding, you will reach the limits of this bubble that is the consciousness of the universe. And if you're doing from the center to the right, from the center to the left, from the center up, from the center to down, you are doing always the same amount of experience. Why it's so cool, the book of Hermann Hesse, Siddhartha? Who had read it? Let me see your hands. So because you are in front of a computer, if you had not read it, you can Google it, buy it, and tomorrow morning it's in your mailbox. Okay. What was doing Siddhartha in the book of Hermann Hesse? By the way, it's a book like this. It's very, very short, but very, very, very full of good informations. So I suggest it very much. Siddhartha was the son of higher level um, person in India, no? And I don't want to spoil it too much, but in any case, I'm not, so spoiler advice. I tell you before. Um, I don't want to tell too much. Let's tell in this way. He changed so many lives. So he started, of course, like son of an important family in India. Then he changed to be a monk. So in poverty, in silence. Okay. Then he changed and he went to the to be a marketer. Then he passed a lot of time in the garden of Kamala, passing, let's say, working with the lower chakras. And you understood what I mean? Okay. Then he changed again. And at the end of the book, because he had the courage, he had the force, he had really the instinct, because it's important, the instinct that is not just the animal instinct, to change and change and change and living so many lives in just one life. At the end of the book, um, he was bringing people on a little wooden boat from one side to the other side to the river. He was doing just it, no? And he was living off the few coins that the people was giving him, going, from one side to the other to the of the river. Very cool. Well, one day coming back and observing the water of the river streaming continuously, he got the illumination and he got the status of the Buddha. Why he reached in this way the status? It was wrong. Leave his family and all his material things, or it was good. No judgment. It was good passing so much time with Kamala and losing all the spiritual topics that he developed before. No judgment. It was right after a life of experiences, reducing himself not to do a humble work like the person that is bringing from one side, okay, to the other of the river the people for few coins. No judgment. You must be yourself. You must be who you are. And because you are incorporating again all the informations of the universe, what is happening? Is happening that every experience is expanding you. Every modality that is not closing you in a cluster. For this reason, the idea of the community of like minded or of different people that can help you to come to the center, or better, like with Fanny were brainstorming this morning, instead of the idea of the return to yourself, the idea of recognizing yourself, recognizing who you are because you are embodied consciousness. So next time that someone is telling you, ah, you are not ready for this, or you are not able to do this, and someone wants to diminish you and limiting you, please give me his number. I will send a message of WhatsApp in Italian. He will understand. Hmm? No way to make yourself destroyed by someone else. No way that someone can judge you and manipulate you. Never, never. Go inside yourself, find your infinite spark, ask to your consciousness. You can have a dialogue with the infinite consciousness. You can have a deep dialogue with your infinite consciousness. And is not the channeling, and is not the meditation, and is not counting from 10 to 0, and is not imagining yourself, I don't know, in the green park with the trees. You can speak with yourself in the most direct, technique free way. In one of the next calls, we will speak about how to speak with yourself consciously, because actually you are doing it continuously all the day. When you feel that something is not anymore working, when you feel that something is creating some issue to you, so it's something that you feel in your skin, it's something that you feel in your real instinct. Okay, so I would like now to open the mics and speak a little bit with all of you. Meanwhile, Michaela, or Michaela, is telling, if I give a healing session to a daughter holding the hand of her dying mother, so two person at one time, because I feel that is a good thing to do. Do I evolve or I do something against the rule? My answer is ask to your consciousness. I'm not a guru. I'm not telling you a dogma. Are you feeling that this is a thing? So ask yourself, think about that moment. Go back to that moment that I can imagine it was extremely strong emotionally. Were you in expansion or were you in contraction? What does this experience gifted to you? Which is the lesson that you are bringing back to the one? Um, I stayed at the side of my father, dying in his last moments, and I worked with Tibet Tibetanian book of the death. That actually is the book of the death and of the life. But because we are very dramatic here in Italy, they taken off from the title the life. So in Italian, the book is just the book of the death. Okay, it's, it's marketing. And I felt extremely expanded doing it. It was extremely painful, and the universe is extremely perfect because after a couple of months, I had still this trauma inside myself, and it was already scheduled with Cristina Corrieri, another instructor of Reconnective Academy, a training program online about the concept of the death. She's extremely good in it. And it was a training program of 4 meetings. And at the second meeting, in front of the clients, in front of the students, etc., I said, listen, I don't want to teach anymore. Now, from teacher, I'm becoming student. I need to hear just Christina speaking. So I was transforming myself by teacher, that is just a tag, to student. And actually, I have to say, never I am a teacher. Why? Because I'm creating this universe with you. So, as we have all the informations of the universe inside ourselves, what I'm telling to you is something is that I really need to remind to myself. It's something that I need to recall to my mind, to my brain. Okay. So I need mirrors, students, to explain them something that I need to hear again and again. At the opposite, you are creating again a mirror. Ciao, I am your mirror. Okay. And this mirror is telling you something that you already know, that but you forgot, and you need to hear exactly in this moment, today, at this time, but it's something that you already know. You know everything, as me. But we are creating this game of mirrors to incorporate also this consciousness in our left brain, in our brains, to then have a three-dimensional behavior that is different than what we did till now. It's a beautiful game. I had called it in my book that will be launched in March, the Universal Monopoly. Do you remember the monopoly of the Parker Brothers? Okay, the hotels, you know, go back to the start, go in prison. Okay, all of these kind. and then you have to catch a card, and it's changing everything again. Well, I had chosen a very big card, yeah, in this period, and is expanding a lot. So a little bit of chat again. Suzanne is telling ego can feel like it brings you something we might think is expansion, but maybe it's not so. Right. 100% congruent with everything we said till now. Yes, it's true.
So it was it's my own investigation in myself around helping. So helping can also feed the ego. And it can feel really good. So it's um a search, what is expansion then, in regard to what is being meant in the reconnection.
Yes, I agree 100% with you. And well, like director of Reconnective Academy International, I've seen so many times also in new practitioners, for example, people that were there instead of, let's say, helping, actually trying to help themselves to feel special. They needed to feel special, or they need sometimes, I have to say, to feel superior. Okay. Or also something that is very common in the holistic world, telling, we are conscious people, but these other people that, I don't know, they are watching football match in the TV instead of going around the city and singing Hare Krishna song. We are absolutely much more evolved. Not so true. Not so true. Not so true. And it's very, very, very common. This is the trap of the ego, and is the trap also, in Italian we say, of the Red Cross nurse. Okay, the doesn't matter if you are a man or a woman, is the concept. It's someone that want always to be in service, always to give because is not able to receive. Okay, these kind of people, they're not bad people, absolutely, but there is a lack of consciousness. There is a lack of consciousness. This is why, to me, it's important not just practice energetically, but also thinking and speaking together about it. Because sometimes it's much easier listen a story of one person and a story of the other, and then recognize that you are in the same place, and then start in a silent way your inner evolution without, again, gurus, dogmas, techniques, nothing, but just understanding, asking yourself, where am I? Where am I? So, what I'm doing? I'm doing it because I am balanced. I know that is a good thing, or because I need the approval of the others. I need the approval of the clients. Oh, Guglielmo, you are an excellent healer. You know that I was blocked in it for many years because I started my journey in this because of my little brother that he has got a cerebral palsy. We had 14 years of difference, so I was much older than him. So I was his nurse, I was his doctor, I was his physiotherapist, his psychologist, his everything. But at a certain point, and then I started to study holistic things, but it was always me, 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 me. I had to heal him, no one else. I had to help him, no one else. I had to be the special one of the house, no one else. And this was not expanding anything. It was blocking everything. Beautiful, let's say, the experience that came through. And I have to tell to all of you, my person, I want to share, okay? You can, normally they say to us, the pain is the best teacher, is the best master, right? No. You can realize better that you had learned something from the pain because when you don't have anymore the pain, you realize it. I don't have anymore the pain. Cool. Done. Okay, finally. But you can learn or you can recognize the same things with a joy. But we are not so used to observe our joy like a special situation. We are much more observing our pain like a special situation because our soul is telling, what is that? I don't want to experience that. And the pain is bringing us to the crisis. And as I said, the crisis, what was that? The crisis is the moment in which you have to decide. I am finding in myself all the resources that I didn't know that I have, but I have inside me, or I just give up. And if from the balance you are going to the imbalance, and you are here in crisis and you don't know how to do, you got a major depression, or you stay there, or you find in yourself all the resources to return to the balance. But this piece of space that my finger had done, it's called evolution. And sometimes we are calling it healing. What is healing? The return to the balance. What is the balance? The return to the balance is the evolution. What is the evolution? What we did to come here. Why? To do the experience of the duality. Why? Because the one, was not able to observe himself. So created the illusion of the duality to know better himself. Why? This is a mystery. But let's say we arrived already to a decent level of understanding for tonight. Silke, a mentor, she said the same. I had a patient very old and I had to some physiotherapy, but that was painful for her. So I trust my instinct and changed to reconnective healing session, and it was wonderful for her. So she found her way to leave the earth in a lovely way. Um, Fantastic the idea that death is not something bad. It's not something bad. It's the only certainty that we have in our life, first. Second, the idea that we have about the death, it's so much influencing everything we are doing in our life. If we think that after that there is nothing, our life will be absolutely, let's say, gnostic. If we think that if I am a good person, then I will go to the paradise, or if I am doing something bad, I will go to the inferno, my way not to work with the others will be in the good, let's say, way. If I think that I am an infinite and mm, let's say immortal being, I will not be scared by death. But this will be a topic for another call because we are opening a big door. And Marius from Poland, and thank you very much for joining us, is telling nothing can block you. Nothing can block you. Nothing. And gently smile in the face of the people that pretend, because they are pretending, that they can block you, or they believe that they can block you. No one can block you. No one. Absolutely. So,
Only if we allow them to block us.
eh?
Only if we allow them to block us.
Of course, Fanny. And in this case, what is happening? It's you blocking yourself at the end
Yeah,
of the day.
exactly. That's what I mean. Do we
Yes.
still have a bit of time if I want to bounce on the what we talked or not?
Absolutely
Yeah.
yes. If people has,
So I wanted to go back on this ego stuff.
mhm.
The fact that sometimes is the ego when we want to help and everything. But what if we observe that phase where we were maybe with this drive, with this ego to help, if we observe it with that eye without judgment, and maybe it's not negative, it's not positive. Maybe we look at it in a way of limiting, but maybe it's expansion. Maybe in the if we are not in the duality, expansion and contraction are together. And I know exactly what it is because I've been in a phase like this. And even today, I think from it's still sometimes a bit there. I'm human, and but I'm at peace with it because I know that like that phase of my life where I was really in this ego of like being a shine doctor, doing humanitarian work and everything. Um, Even though it made me arrive to a crash, a crisis, as you said, that made me also arrive here in a way. But so this phase was super expanding in one aspect, but also if you look at the big picture of my life, it was fully part of my expansion. So I have zero regret to have been that lady at that time.
And I agree totally. And it's exactly like the cage, it's exactly like the technique, let's say, guru. And I wrote already a part of my book in which I'm explaining when I was in the Hare Krishna. Actually, I don't look like it, but yes, I passed quite 1 year in the Hare Krishna, and then in a group of people that were following a guru very intelligent actually. He was speaking about quantum physics 30 years ago, the Penrose cube and all of that. And then, well, we realized that he was taking up to me actually nothing, but a part of the salary of the people around him, and he got to the jail. But I had learned from this man a lot actually, and was good, was bad. To me, was a total expansion. But well, maybe not from the best human source. So we have to keep out from the judgment. And yes, and the ego, it's a part of us. If we created ourselves with the ego, maybe it's exactly what we need. Okay. It's like a runner, no? The runner is creating also to himself the obstacles to be jumped. So, yes. And by the way, the ego is not the enemy. Like the technique is not the enemy. It's the use that we are doing of it that maybe is just slowing up, slowing down, actually. Okay, all of our evolution. But in any case, the good news again is the second law of the thermodynamic. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can block you. You are going always back to yourself, or better, you are realizing who you are. And this is what we would like with this group of calls. So, people, thank you very much, Fanny, for your contribution. Thank you very much. Extremely appreciated. So, this call was extremely quick to me. Maybe when we are sharing interesting things, the time this is not existing is running more. Okay. So see you next week. You will receive the new link automatically. If you like join again live, to me is important to have live interactions with all of you, also to brainstorm about you all the topics and all the information. Yes, next Wednesday. So on Monday, I'm doing the Italian. On Wednesday, I'm doing the English. And the Friday, I'm doing the Spanish. Pues el viernes se habla español. Bueno, así que ah, hacemos en todos los idiomas que conozco. Va bene. Okay, yes, it's recorded, the summit, and it will be shared with you and sent again to you. You can share, of course, this call, and you can post and you play, etc. Suzanne, if the Wednesday evening you are working, you can um, so registering to the call in this way will be sent to you automatically, but in this case you have to done every week. Okay, you have just to remind to yourself, go to the website, click refill the form, and in this way you will receive. Okay, so I gave you the Suzanne the trick to do it. Thank you very much, Irina. Again, I seen that you will be active very soon in Austria, so congratulations also to you. Bene. So have a good night, everyone. Enjoy your life. Smile. Be yourself. Nothing else. Better than this. Ciao. Good night, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to you.